iCOASST is a 4-year project funded by the Natural Environment Research Council and supported by the Environment Agency. It aims to predict coastal geomorphic behaviour around the UK with focus on Liverpool Bay and the Suffolk coastline.
The iCOASST project is looking at predicting the future of our beaches and estuaries and really trying to understand how they might change over the next, say, 10 to 100 years so we can make better decisions about coastal flood risk management and erosion management. It's aiming to really look at how we can predict the sort of sand of the beaches and the dunes behind us over that 10 to 100 year time scale. It's looking to see how we can actually map the coast and recognise what elements are actually here and how they're interacting. And it's looking at the seabed out here and looking at how the sand might be carried away from the beach or brought into the beach from the sea so that we can get a holistic view of the coastline. We're going to be demonstrating the iCOASST methods in 2 study sites, Suffolk and here in Sefton and Liverpool Bay more broadly. And we're working very closely with the local authorities and coastal managers in both those areas.
Sefton coast, brilliant location. Sedimentary coast, 20% of the sand dunes in England here. The locals value it highly, but also the academics value it. We've got a lot of data sets in this area, and that provides a really strong basis for actually looking at how we understand the coast. We've got the history of how the coast has been changing, and because it's a populated area, we have to know how it's going to change in the future. As a local authority, we have to plan for coastal management over a period of up to 100 years, because the assets that we build will last for at least 60 years, and some of the development that goes on behind them may well last longer than that.
My expertise is mainly in the response of coastal geomorphic systems. So obviously that feeds into some aspects of the modelling, knowing how the physical landscape, how the landforms respond to dynamic forcing such as sea level rise, storms, currents, waves, etc. But then at the same time it's also linking the academic community through to the user community, so linking it through to the people who basically have the interesting, important questions that need to be answered. The Liverpool Bay study area is really interesting from the perspective is that a lot of work has already been done here in terms of morphological response to past drivers. So we know how the coastline has changed in the past to, let's say for example, changes in sediment budget, changes in sea level rise, changes in wave climate.
We have a system called Fluid Earth, which is a software system that means that people can develop their models, bring them together, get them to run in a consistent fashion. So if somebody has a model of a dune piece of coast such as here in Sefton, and someone else has a model of an estuary, we can get those two things to work together, exchange sediment between them, and therefore that's really significant when you're trying to move sediment budgets around the coast over long periods of time, over long distances. We've got a series of stakeholder workshops, keeping in touch with end users of the research and making sure that deliverables and outcomes from the research are taken up during the project rather than leaving it all to the end. So creating interest as we go along, creating opportunities for third parties to come in and pick up benefits from the research.